It's typically when you first have your first rehearsals or you're having your casting auditions and you see that very timid, kind of unsure little kid who's just kind of doesn't know where they fit in. And then by the end of your performances, they've got 30 new best friends and they're ready to do it again and again. And, it's a life changer. It really is. It really is. Every time I see that, and I see that all the time.
Welcome, friends, entrepreneurs, and visionaries, to Getting Neighborly, Fairview, Texas's very own gateway to opportunity. Proudly presented by the Fairview Economic Development Corporation. I'm your host, Super Dave Quinn, here to navigate the journey through the heart of our thriving community. In each episode, we unlock the doors of Fairview, offering you a first-hand look at the vibrant life and booming business landscape that define our community. We're not just neighbors here, we're collaborators, innovators, and friends, building dreams and turning visions into reality. From insightful stories of local success to exploring the advantages that make Fairview an ideal community for your business. This podcast is your inside track to discovering why Fairview isn't just a place to do business. It's a place to grow, to belong, and to call home. So whether you're looking to start up, scale up, or simply soak up the spirit of community that champions entrepreneurial success, you found the right spot. Welcome to Getting Neighborly in Fairview, Texas. Let's make your business dream a community's success story. Howdy, friends, and welcome to another show. This is Getting Neighborly, the show where we celebrate the people, places, and purpose-driven organizations that make Fairview feel like home. I'm your host, Super Dave Quinn, and today we're talking stage lights, transformation, and the magic of theater with someone who's not only taught performance, but has helped shape the lives of hundreds of young actors in our community. Today, I'm with Cibby Bowden, who is the director and managing director of the North Texas Performing Arts in Fairview. With more than 35 years of experience in directing and acting and arts education, she's a force behind the scenes and a voice from the wings. Earlier this year, she received the prestigious Freddie G Fellowship Award, given to only 5 theater educators nationwide. She's brought stories like Matilda, Beetlejuice, and Little Women to life on the Fairview stage, but today, she's sharing her story with us. Cibby, welcome to Getting Neighborly.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
We're so happy to have you here. As I was mentioning before we recorded, I have a son who graduated from Baylor in theater. And so I have a special place in my heart for those in the theater world and what all that means. As a parent of a theater kid and someone who was not familiar with theater, and then having a son, it was quite an adjustment for me, but we've grown to love the theater and we still love to go watch high school theater performances, even though our kids are out of high school now. So thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. Glad you love theater.
Right? So listen, I want to talk a little bit about that. Do you remember the first time that theater really grabbed you, like it got into your bones and you wanted to be associated in this industry?
It's funny you ask because I have just this faint flash memory of being a girl in front of a line of princes. And I was in probably second grade, and I was actually living in Milan, Italy at the time. So I was going to an English-speaking school there, and I just remembered the applause and like going, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Just that little feeling. And I don't have any idea what it was. I have no memory of what it was. Since then, I can remember some more things I've done.
So second grade,
That's
Milan,
the moment.
you just know, like, this is pretty cool.
Yes, loved it. From that moment on, that's my story.
That's phenomenal. You've obviously directed and performed for decades, right? So you've been in the theater world.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that journey. What from second grade Milan, Italy to today, sort of recap that journey.
I was heavy into theater in my elementary and middle school years. And then we transferred actually over to Sugar Land, Texas.
Okay.
And unfortunately, there was not a theater program at my high school, if you can believe that, because now they're in every high school.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the reasons why I'm actually pretty passionate about theater in these young people's lives, because they have such an amazing opportunity that we offer them. So that's one of the things that drive me to get the kids to do it now, because I didn't have that growing up when I was in high school.
Have you seen things change over the years in like on the performing arts side and what you're talking about going from it not being available to today? What really have you seen change in the theater world as you see it?
Yes, absolutely. I have to say that a lot of it has to do with a publishing company, Music Theater International, because they produce not only Broadway scripts make available, but they also have what's called the junior collection and the kids collection. So now we've got students in the younger years, kindergarten through like 8th grade, that are able to do cuts, like miniature versions of these big Broadway shows. And so by the time they're in high school, they already have a lot of experience when they're ready to do the full versions. So that's a game changer, Music Theater International.
So really making it easy for amateur and the kids theater performing arts folks to really grab that and not have to work. I mean, it's a lot of work to cut a full length play into like a one act or like high school
Yep.
theater. So you're really talking about someone, they just made it easy to cut and then produce.
Yes. I mean, it's gone from the elementary music teacher trying to put something together to now we can. That's what it used to be. It used to be just that. Or the librarian trying to find a script that, she could direct some kids with. So it's pretty well nationwide now. Actually, it's worldwide. But this one company I attribute a lot to. They're not the only ones that do the junior cuts, but they're the largest by far.
Okay. So I guess being in the industry, you've probably acted, directed, you've taught. I'm making that presumption? Have you formed all those roles
Yeah.
or?
Yeah. Yes. I did a little spiel out in Hollywood for just a little bit. Nothing not a very big deal. I actually returned to the stage about 12 years ago, and at my theater where I was working in Katy, Texas, I was the managing director of a theater there. And we did some Shakespeare and did some musicals, and I got back on stage. My favorite role was playing the role of Joanne in Stephen Sondheim's Company, which I don't know if you know the show, but Company is just a fabulous musical, very difficult. And I played a woman who has been married several times, as she puts it, and she's trying to set up a younger man with someone in the future. And she's a sassy young lady. Well, not young lady. She's a sassy, probably 60-something-year-old. So I related to her. Yeah, it was great fun. So, and then my boys were in a private school in Katy, Texas that did not have a theater department. And so with the support of the principal, I was able to start a theater department there.
Oh, wow.
And we did some of the junior shows. We did Music Man Junior, Fiddler on the Roof Junior, Once Upon a Mattress Junior. And so that program, I've since obviously moved to Dallas area, but that program still exists. And I was very fortunate to have the support of the principal to be able to do that back then.
Man, that's amazing. So in all those roles, which one would you say really had the most impact on you to who you are today in your life? Like when thinking back over your career, which one really moved you?
Well, by far the being the educator is where my heart is. Director, and then just straight up after school theater classes, teaching the young ones the basics. So I much prefer being on that side of the stage now, and just love to see, theater kids, since you had one, they're unique. They're a unique brand of kids. They're amazing. I'm crazy about them. Love them to
They
pieces.
are awesome in their own
Yeah.
little way. They are so awesome.
They're very, very confident and very supportive of each other, which I just love seeing on the stage.
It is something, we talk about that. Obviously, you pay for a college education for someone getting a theater degree, and some realms, they're like, I don't know about that. But you think about the skill set. Like I would put my son in a room with no direction. He could thrive. He can move from person to person. He can talk to them. He doesn't get freaked out by things like not going as planned. He's used to being able to deal with that. And he just enjoys the situation. He kind of thrives in that environment where others would see chaos and like, I don't, he kind of can bring order to that. And no matter which direction you go, he kind of rolls with it. And that I think comes from his time on stage and just being around people. And so it's been a pretty interesting thing to watch.
Well, and you bring that up, and one thing that is very, very unique about North Texas Performing Arts and what I do at Fairview Youth Theater, we have something that's called the 10 characters that we emphasize in every rehearsal, every class. We give out awards based on the 10 characters, and it's stuff like discipline, respect, integrity, self-confidence, positive attitude. There's 10 altogether that we emphasize. And we really teach those using the arts. And so we're creating really solid kids for the future, whatever direction they go in. Like you said, those life skills are incredible to have.
So let's talk a little bit about the NTPA and specifically in Fairview. What makes that place a little bit different, from other programs? Why would parents put their kids into this sort of educational activity?
That's a great question. Well, like I said, we are known for our 10 characters, and a lot of parents love that the kids are learning much more than just stage directions and how to memorize lines. They're learning these life skills, and that's a big game changer for a lot of parents. We are the largest nonprofit youth organization in the country, and we have 5 major branches. We also have new branches. In fact, a little plug, we're starting a new branch called NTPA Silver, which is for adults 62 and up.
That's amazing.
MTI has just come out with a line of shows like Guys and Dolls Senior, Into the Woods Senior, Fiddler on the Roof Senior. And so we're gearing up to start that in January, which is going to be real exciting.
That's amazing.
We do program primarily for kindergarten through 12th grade, but we're in our 3rd year, maybe even our 4th year now, of doing our community shows, which has kids in them, but mostly parents and adults from the community get to take their turn on stage. We did Matilda with the community, Fiddler on the Roof with this huge success last year with the community, with kids playing the kids' roles and adults in all the adult roles. And a lot of them are families taking the stage together. It's really special.
That I remember doing that once with my son way back in, maybe he was elementary or a little older, and we did community players down in Bastrop. And, it was like I played this coach with the whistle, and I had like one line. I got to blow my whistle and say this, like I thought was like the line of the show, right? Like I was thinking, really, it was so much fun to do that.
Was it High School Musical? Was it High School Musical?
Oh, I don't remember. I just remember the coach, and I had a whistle, and I had this one line, and I thought, like it's it, what a great, I think that's an awesome opportunity for families to get with their kids to be able to do that together. What a neat thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when we stay very busy, Fairview Youth Theater, we produce about 30 productions a year, and most of them run 2 weekends. So we end up having about 500 guests every weekend walking through our doors. We keep that end of the mall very busy. We support all those restaurants and everything. So in the end, it's hard to guess the exact amount because kids do several shows at a time, not at a time, but per year. We have a whole bunch of kids that do 2 to 4 to 5 shows a year. And then we just finished a whole summer of summer camps, which kept us busy all day long. And then we'd go into the evening and have all our rehearsals. So it's a hopping place, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, we've loved having you guys in the town center. It's obviously a great location for people in and out. It's easy to do if parents drop off their kids for the rehearsals and they can grab dinner and whatnot. And I got to tell you, if you want to keep your kids busy, get them into theater because like it takes up a lot of time, right? Like it's a pretty intense thing, and the kids love it though. That's the cool thing is the kids tend to really enjoy it. I should say my kids really enjoyed it. I think other kids do as well.
Oh yeah.
It's a labor of love, right?
Oh yeah. And for each show we produce, it's usually about a 10 to 12 week rehearsal time, which is once, sometimes we pick up a Saturday, so once or twice a week for 3 hours at a time, and then we go into our last week is our tech rehearsals every
Oh
night,
man, I
and then we
remember
have our
tech.
shows. Yep,
Uh,
tech, that's when everything comes together, and, the microphones and the music and the props and the set pieces, and
there's a lot of life lessons that happen
it's
in tech
stressful.
week.
It can be very stressful. I try to say pretty organized. I'm kinda known for having pretty chill tech weeks because we're usually ahead of the game, which is great. We're in the middle right now of Frozen Junior. We opened last weekend, and we have a show tonight, and the rest of this weekend, we have Disney's Frozen Junior. That's been very popular with the audiences.
Awesome. So, you've been doing this for years. You've been helping kids and really pouring into them, as you said, with through the education and whatnot. When you think about thinking back over that time, is there a moment that sort of that gives you goosebumps when you think back? That was amazing. Do you have a moment that kind of keeps you going and doing those things?
It's a moment that repeats itself. It's typically when you first have your first rehearsals or you're having your casting auditions and you see that very timid, kind of unsure little kid who's just kind of doesn't know where they fit in. And then by the end of your performances, they've got 30 new best friends and they're ready to do it again and again. And, it's a life changer. It really is. It really is. Every time I see that, and I see that all the time, it keeps me going with just a heart full of joy for what's happening with them.
That's awesome. I want to talk a little bit about your award, the Freddie G Fellowship Award that you
Mhm.
won. I mean, when you say only 5 theater educators in the nation, there are a lot of theater educators in the nation. So tell us a little bit
Yes.
about that
Well,
award and how
well,
that came about.
yeah. Well, not all of them apply for it. You do have to apply for it. But I understood it was several hundred, so that was pretty.
It's
It's
still quite
quite
the
an honor.
accomplishment.
Thank you. Thank you. It's quite the honor. And it's named after Freddie Gershon, who is the person who conceived the idea of bringing the Broadway shows to the junior versions, so that he's like the daddy of all the junior shows.
Okay.
Wonderful man. I got to meet him when I was out there. I was out there in July. They flew the 5 of us out there, stayed at really nice hotel, wined and dined us, and we got to tour MTI, Music Theater International. We got to work with all the people at iTheatrics, who are the organizers of the large junior theater festival that we can talk about too. And then lots of master classes, and we got to see a couple of Broadway shows. And they treated us like royalty. It was very humbling, actually.
What a
It was
fun
really a super weekend.
Yeah, what a fun experience that must be, and rewarding to have your work recognized like that. I think we're very fortunate in
Yeah.
Fairview to have someone like you working in our neighborhood who is helping shape the future generation of the actors and young kids, not just actors. Who knows what they go to do once they move into the real world. But thank you
Mhm.
for doing that. It means a lot, and congratulations. I just want to say I appreciate what you bring to our community.
Thank you. I'm honored to be able to do it. It's a great job. I have a really great job.
Tell us a little bit about what that national spotlight has meant for your program here and for the town of Fairview. I mean, has it meant anything, beyond just feeling good? Does it bring some national spotlight to the programs that you're putting on?
It does, and in a broader sense, what I mentioned before is a company called iTheatrics, and they're in New York as well. They have what they call the Junior Theater Festival every year. They have one in California and one in Atlanta, and we go every year in January. This will be our 7th year to go, and it's usually about 8,000 people there.
Oh, wow.
So you're in a room with thousands of crazy, wonderful theater kids. It is a competition. You do bring a piece, a 15-minute cut of one of their Broadway junior versions, and you do get adjudicated and you do get awards. And we've gotten a lot of national attention from that. From that, they chose us to premiere Beetlejuice Jr. on the stage. We were the first to do that in the nation, in the world, actually,
That's
to do
amazing.
some cuts from Beetlejuice Jr. And then last year we were selected to perform with two other theater groups, Disney's new musical called Dare to Dream, which highlights all of the favorite Disney songs. So we got to perform that on the stage in front of the thousands of people as well. So we've gotten, and we've won. We have a case of trophies at our Plano office
That is outstanding.
from competing in that. Yeah, Junior Theater Festival is a wonderful experience for the kids. In fact, they just auditioned for it, and the cast list goes out Sunday to see who made the troupe.
Yeah. So do those kids come from all over the Metroplex or all over? Is it just Fairview kids? Is it kids from all around the region?
Yeah, it's kids from all around the region because of our 5 branches. Our branches they go all the way. We have one way out in South Lake, Frisco, Dallas, Plano, and Fairview. We're all the branches.
Okay.
And so it's kids from all those locations. Although
Awesome.
we do rehearse at the Fairview location. So most of the kids live around here.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about parents who may be seeing this show. Obviously, this is meant for our neighbors here in and around the, Lucas and Parker and the Fairview and Allen area. For a parent who's
Mhm.
listening who might be on the fence of like, oh, I think I might have a kid that would enjoy this. Why should they enroll their kids in theater, or what's the upside for getting involved with the NTPA program here in Fairview?
That's a great question. And we offer, you don't have to jump in right away and get right into a production. Once a month we offer what's called Upstart Workshop, which is a free 2-hour workshop for the kids to get to know what it's like to audition, and they tour our facility. And then the parents come in the last 30 minutes and it's a Q&A session with one of our directors. So they kind of get their feet wet doing that. We also are about to start our after-school classes. We have them from kindergarten to 9th grade. We have classes, all different kinds. We have this year for the first time, we're doing an improvisation class, which I think will be great fun to do improv comedy. So other than going all the way in to be into a production, there's other outlets to get them ready. Why would you do that? It's all the reasons we've been talking about. Yes, it's fun to have a great show and the kids get up there and singing and dancing and running their lines. But the whole experience, the whole 12 weeks going into the production, really working on these life skills has just been a tremendous blessing for so many families.
Well, I think too, one thing that you just learn to work with people of all different kinds of personalities and like it's not everybody gets on stage and gets like, there's a chemistry that kind of has to develop over the course of the rehearsal time, right? Like, so you take all of these people who are maybe completely different. I mean, they're the same, but over the course of that rehearsal period, they've got to kind of meld into this working, everybody's depending on everybody else to do their thing at their right time. And
Yep.
it's so magical to watch that happen. It almost breaks my heart too. Every time when the show's over, you're like, we only get to see, you only do it for a couple of days and you're like, what? Like, we should take this on the road.
All that work. Yeah.
And the kids get used to this. There's this little like hangover after the fact of it's over. I mean, it's everybody's really happy that it's over because you put so much work into it. But I do think it is something that I think really helps a child develop socially in so many different ways than just learning lines. I mean, all of that's really cool and that's important too. But I do like that outside of these are life skills that you can really take from now on, right? When you move into a work environment,
absolutely.
you don't get, you get hired and it is the cast of characters you've got and you've got to figure out how to mold into that. It can't be perfect all the time. And so I think that's a really valuable skill that what you guys are doing at a young age to be able to teach the kids that is pretty awesome.
You just nailed it there. That's right.
With all of the stuff that you're teaching, we're talking about the lessons and that. What's one lesson that, like, if you don't get anything else out of this program, that you want, that young actor to leave the stage to carry with them going forward?
It's hard to pick one, but off the top of my head, I think they learn that no matter what their role is, in the exact show, we can't do it without them. So
Oh,
even if they have a small role, if they're not there, we can't do the scene. And so I think they learn a lot that their place, whatever their place is, at school, at home, if they feel small or if they feel like it's very large, that it's meant to be and it's needed and they're welcome and they're needed. And like you said, they learn to trust each other because everything has to work together for the scene to work. And so they learn to trust each other, that each one is going to do their part. And that's here again, that's a great life lesson. Uh,
yeah.
like you said, in the workplace or whatever you end up doing in your life. Yes.
So, what's one thing you wish the folks in our community understood more about theater? I think sometimes it's misunderstood in what it is and its value. What's something that you wish everyone in our community knew more about the theater or understood about the theater?
If I can be specific about Fairview Youth Theater, from the moment you walk in the door into the lobby before a show, you'll feel it right away. There's a huge sense of community. Our parents are very involved in the process, as opposed to in high school theater, they don't get the opportunity to be as involved. But we say we're run by professionals, made possible by volunteers. So when we start a show, there's a whole list of volunteer positions that our parents get involved in. And they're involved in building the set, props, costumes, working in the lobby, from selling concessions to working backstage. We have massive amount of parents being involved. And so this is a great home for them too. So that's really what's different about Fairview Youth Theater is you walk in and it doesn't feel like a cold lobby that you're about to go into a dark room with a bunch of strangers and see something light up on the stage. It's very welcoming, very friendly, lots of fellowship happens at the theater here.
I love it.
I'm very proud of the community.
Well, Cibby, thank you so much. I appreciate you, spending a few minutes of your afternoon hanging out with us and sharing your insights on the Fairview Youth Theater, the program, what it means to be a theater student and in that world. And again, I want to congratulate you on your award.
Thank you.
What's for the folks out there, if they're thinking about getting involved or they want to connect with you, how can they connect with the program at Fairview, and how do they start that process?
Well, it's the easiest thing to do is go to our website. I know that sounds corny,
No, that's great.
ntpa.org. And then you will see all the different locations and you just click on Fairview and then it'll show everything that's happening at Fairview, from auditions to classes to shows you can come and see, to what our lineup is for the rest of the year. And then anybody can email me anytime.
Awesome.
I'm here to help and answer any questions.
Well, thank you so much, Cibby. Guys, thank you all for watching today. This has been another episode of Getting Neighborly Podcast. Remember, whether you're here in Fairview, Texas, or you're dreaming from afar, you want to be in Fairview. We're always part of the community here. And as we wrap up, I want to say a big shout out to our friends at Venture X and the premier working space in the heart of Collin County. Whether you need a private office, a collaborative workspace, or a place to get things done, Venture X Fairview has you covered with a professional and modern environment designed for your success. So please stop by, check it out, tell them Super Dave Quinn sent you. Big thanks to the team over at Venture X in Fairview for supporting Getting Neighborly and the Fairview, Texas EDC. So I'm your host, Super Dave Quinn, reminding you that here in Fairview, Texas, you're not just a neighbor, you're family. Until next time, keep the creative spirit alive, stay neighborly, and make it a great day. And that's a wrap on another episode of Getting Neighborly from the heart of Fairview, Texas. This is your host, Super Dave Quinn, and I can't thank you enough for lending us your ears and hearts today. If our story stirred something in you, hit the subscribe button. More tales of innovation, spirit, and community await, showcasing why Fairview isn't just a place on the map, but a destination of dreams. Before you go, take a moment to share your love with a 5-star rating and review, because your support means the world to us and helps us spread the neighborly spirit far and wide, inviting others to join our close-knit community. Are you considering giving your business a fresh start or a grand expansion? Fairview, Texas is calling. With unbeatable resources, a supportive community, and endless opportunities, we're here to help you succeed. Dive into possibilities today at www.fairviewtexasedc.com, where your business dreams have a place to grow and flourish. From all of us here at Getting Neighborly Podcast and the Fairview Economic Development Corporation, thank you for your incredible support. Here's to more connections, more stories, and more success together. Until next time, stay inspired, stay driven, and above all, stay neighborly.